Yeah. Yeah. If you do it good, I'ma do it better. If you do it good, I'ma do it better. Chosen one, born to shine. I can't stop, one more try. I know that it's my time. I'm on a new level. No regrets, born to shine. I can't stop, one more try. I know that I'll be fine. Yeah. And you know that
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
His guys got the season started on the right foot, a home victory in the season opener. On the other sideline, it is the Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. His guys, on the other hand, couldn't pull one out last week in the opener, so they're looking for their first win at home here in Week 2. Mike Tirico, along with Greg Olsen. Will Reichert will get this one started. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Falcons come out there led by Michael Penix, the second-year quarterback out of Washington. Greg taking over late last year and winning the job as the Atlanta starting quarterback.
So as he takes the field, Mike, he's coming off an incredibly productive game, and it's really the 4 touchdowns that stands out to us. But to him, all he could think about all week is eliminating the 2 interceptions. He told us, he said, I have to continue to be productive and have the positive plays, but at the same time, I've got to do a better job eliminating the negative.
Open man downfield, that's London. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. 2 plays, 2 nice pickups to start the drive. This one a gain of 18. First and 10. From the gun, it's Penix. He's got this to Bijan Robinson. And he'll be ridden out of bounds after a gain of 6. From the 38 now, here's second and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
Off the play fake, here's the lefty Penix. Now he'll swing it out to his fullback. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard. He sets up third down.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up third down.
They'll try to run for it with Robinson. A gain of 17 yards. First down, Atlanta.
A gain of 17 yards. That's another Falcons first down. It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Atlanta.
There's a big conversation going on right now around the NFL about what is the true value of having a run game. And I've always thought it comes down to being good at 3 situations. Can you run the ball in the 4th quarter with a lead? How well can you run the ball on the goal line? And then in this case, how well can you run the ball in short yardage situations?
So after the loss on first, here's second and 14. Pitts is the man in motion. On second down, Penix. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete. Play 8 of the opening drive coming up, and now they face third down. From the gun, here is Penix. He'll let this go towards the end zone. That one's broken up in the end zone. It's incomplete. What great work just to get those hands up there. And now it's fourth down. Out is Younghoe Koo to try the field goal. His kick will split the uprights. It's good. And the Falcons will take a 3-0 lead.
A lot of times as an offensive player, you come off the field, you're not thrilled to end a drive like this with a field goal. But I think in this case, you can label it a success. You were able to operate your offense. You were able to quiet this crowd just a little bit and come away with an early lead.
So the Vikings come out. Technically, it is year 2 for J.J. McCarthy, but really it's year 1. Did not play at all in the regular season last year with the knee injury. The former Michigan Wolverine, the quarterback of the Vikings.
I think the biggest thing that stood out from last week's game was when they went into the game with an initial plan, how quickly were they able to get away from that when they realized it wasn't working? I think they got a lot of unscouted looks, meaning the defense threw a lot of exotic looks at them, blitzes, different fronts and coverages, maybe things they didn't work on all week. So the key this week is understand what is the defense looking to do today and how fast can we make those adjustments if we're not having early success. Where a defender makes his tackles tells you a lot about his abilities. And for an interior defensive lineman, Mike, to make plays on the outside of the formation just speaks to his speed, his effort, his ability to run down the line. And we saw it here, and he takes the back down for a loss.
He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's fourth down. So on fourth down, out comes Ryan Wright to punt for Minnesota. The Falcons are going to send Jamal Agnew deep to return. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
They'll throw on first down with Penix. Short throw taken by Pitts. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
At the 39-yard line.
They run over center with Robinson. And that'll give him the first down. Tackle made after the pickup of 3.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass. You can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
He's going to tuck it and go. And they will finally track him down inside the 40-yard line. A gain there of 20. It's good for a Falcon first down.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Falcons.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the first down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
Now Penix to throw on second down. Jonathan Bernard. He had a sack in the opener last week. He's got another one here.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
Now Penix on third and long. He fires downfield for Pitts. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Kyle Pitts. Touchdown Atlanta. It's his third touchdown catch this year.
And this special connection between this quarterback and his receivers, it was on full display right there. Great job getting behind the defense and then What can you say about that ball? I mean, you can't put that ball in a better spot, and with timing and accuracy like that, leads to 6.
Coup able to add the extra point, and the Falcons are out to a 10-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Isaiah Rodgers now to return it. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Vikings offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. Greg, it's one of those weird feelings you build all year for the opener. When you play a tight game and lose, it kind of changes the feeling coming into this week a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly does, and if you're not careful, what's that cardinal rule? You don't want one loss to turn into 2, one bad play to turn into 2. The best teams in this league, they have an uncanny ability that regardless, good or bad, blowout or close one from the previous week before, it doesn't lead into the next week's work and ultimately the next week's game. So we'll find out, were they able to learn from the good?
This one intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. He's going to be out of bounds, but quite a turn of events here. He has set up the offense with 1st and goal.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception, but boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more, and they start in the best possible situation. It is 1st and goal. They'll run with Robinson. A short kick down to the 7. 2nd and goal. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. It is brought in the end zone. Ray McCloud. Touchdown, Falcons. It's his 2nd touchdown of the year. So the turnover turns into a quick touchdown, and Greg, that's exactly how you want your offense to take care of business.
Anytime your defense can create those sudden change situations, Mike, absolutely, you have to take advantage of it. 1 second, you're sitting on the bench, going over your next drive. All of a sudden, after that turnover, you've got to be able to get out on the field and go. Take advantage of the short field, and results in a nice touchdown.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return is Rodgers. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense ready to take over once again. This unit hasn't been at their best early on. Punt followed by an interception on their first 2 drives. To the left side here, caught by Addison. And he's close to a 1st down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down. They'll stop it here. We have an injured Viking to tend to. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. 2nd and inches. On the give, it's Jones. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
And the Vikings, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On play action, here's McCarthy. That's to the left side, taken in by Jefferson. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10.
4 yards. That's another Vikings.
They'll fake the give, and now it's McCarthy. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Throwing on 2nd down is McCarthy. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. After back-to-back incompletions, they now face 3rd down and 10. McCarthy gonna look to throw again. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively. And it sets up 4th down.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
And that's going to work out well. Out of bounds, and they mark it inside the 5-yard line. Raheem Morris there, Falcons head coach. His team ready for their next possession. So, Greg, this offense comes on the road here in week 2. Look, road games are so hard in the NFL, but it's nice to hit the road coming off a win at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's amazing how winning creates more winning. It kind of has an ability to kind of build on itself. It's a snowball effect. So when you're winning, you're feeling good, everything works. And all of a sudden, you start losing, and you start questioning everything about your approach. So the key in the NFL is win or lose, you're on to the next game. And it's the team's ability to start fresh every single week, regardless of the previous week's outcome. Those are the teams that find themselves in position of the playoffs down the stretch.
The Falcons have it to start quarter number 2. This is 3rd and 6. As we are ready to get back underway. That's Jonathan Grenard busting in to record the sack.
This is a great reminder of why it's so important to have great offensive tackles. When you get beat so fast off the edge, the quarterback has nowhere to go in the pocket to escape, and that's what happens.
So on 4th down, the Falcons bring on Bradley Pinion to punt. And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. The Vikings offense about ready to take over once more. Greg, the NFC North has become such a fun division over the last few years. Think of the geography and the legacy. It's always been, because of the proximity, a fun division with great rivalries. But with almost all the teams playing well, save the Bears over the last few years, it's almost heightened the awareness of how good the NFC North can be.
Yeah, I think going into the season, I'd make the argument it's the best division in football. And I think when the worst team, I know they were 5-12 with the Chicago Bears, but to me, there's a lot of wins built in there. Now they bring in Ben Johnson, they continue to build around Caleb Williams. That feels like there's a lot more wins built into that 5-12 record if they just get themselves organized and get some pieces around Caleb Williams, and that's what they've done. So, yes, Detroit and Minnesota, Green Bay, they've clearly been the top 3 for the last couple of years, but if Chicago and that roster, if that's your 4th best team in your division, man, I'll tell you what, those are going to be some really competitive division games this year.
And I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know if it's the length of the franchises, but when these divisions go head-to-head, there always is a legacy feel that just is additive to the anticipation of those matchups.
Yeah, I mean, every one of these franchises,
and he's going to be taken down back at the 20-yard line.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we're going to see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Up the middle, here's Jones. And that one going to be closed down in the backfield. Great defensive play. Knifing it and dropping him for a loss. What can they do here? This is 3rd and forever. Looking to throw. McCarthy. That's out quickly into the hands of Thielen. And he can't get away. They rally to the football defensively. Bring him down for no gain. On 4th down, it's Will Reichert time for this Viking field goal. This will be an even 40-yard attempt. Reichert's kick is good. And the Vikings are finally on the board. It's 17-3.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense make their way out to take over once more. So, Greg, let's pull back big picture and talk NFC South for a second, a division that you know so well. We've got teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 or so years out of this division, yet people overlook it at times, and maybe they've overlooked how good Tampa's been the last 4 years, too.
Well, it's funny, Mike, you think it wasn't very long ago that the NFC South was the toughest division in football. When you mentioned Super Bowl teams, Tampa Bay won one recently with Brady, and then Atlanta, they make a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan, and New Orleans, and obviously the success they had with Drew Brees. In Carolina, we played in a Super Bowl. I mean, this was a division you didn't want to play. Now, they've all fallen on their resets, new coaches, new quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has done the best job weathering and taking advantage of their rebuild and their next era in the midst of a down division. So, big reason they've won 4 in a row. Can Atlanta, can Carolina, New Orleans, can they catch up? Because right now, like you said, Tampa Bay has been the dominant team in this division.
Greg, you lived it, you know it. While these, and they will continue to go backwards, he's taken down for a sack. Davon Hargrave. He gets into drop him for his first sack of the young season.
These pass rushers, they love these situations where they can just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. They knew they had a chance to put an end to this drive, and they didn't let it go to waste.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's standing right around his own goal line. Good return here, able to take it across the 50, set up the offense with a short field. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. Well, Greg, it will be a very busy stretch for the passports. A lot of international games to look forward to. 7 in all outside the U.S. Chiefs and Chargers last week in Sao Paulo. Great ones to follow. Vikings and Steelers in Dublin. Vikings in London playing the Browns the very next week. Broncos and Jets, Rams and Jags. They'll also play in London week 6 and 7. The Falcons and the Colts are going to be in Germany in week 10. And then the Commanders and Dolphins wrap up the international slate. That's in Madrid week 11. Greg, this has been such an additive part to the NFL season, all of these international games.
Yeah, I can tell you, Mike, having played one of the international games towards the end of my career in London when I played for Carolina, it's a great experience.
And he barrels his way into the end zone. Aaron Jones, touchdown Minnesota.
Make no mistake about it, he may get the glory, but that does not happen without unbelievable blocking up front. So let's give the big guys all the credit in the world. He's able to displace the defense right there at the point of attack, and that's about as easy a goal line touchdown as you're going to see all year.
Reichard good with the extra point. And the Vikings are able to cut into the lead. It's now 17-10. Reichard out now, following the touchdown, as he kicks this one away. Ray McLeod on the return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. The Falcons offense getting their final instruction before heading back onto the field. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making I'm going for it on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread. But now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime, each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because it just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, and you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped it. It was just an offensive touchdown festival, so you won a coin toss and you get the ball. Well, the other team's defense hadn't gotten a stop the whole game. If Josh Allen got the ball first, he probably would have scored on a walk-off. So I love the idea of both teams getting the ball. If a game is good enough to go to overtime, let's finish it. We don't need to be in a rush. There's no curfew. Let's let the guys finish it on the field. A lot more similar to how the regular game goes and not have significantly different game flow come overtime.
From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. The drive begins with a carry by Jones. And showing a little versatility as he takes this one forward up to the 34, a pickup of 9.
10 yards on the pickup.
Best time to call a draw is when the defense is playing a pass situation, so a down and distance that screams pass. You want those defensive linemen ripping up the field thinking, I'm going to go sack the quarterback. In this case, they time it perfectly, hands the ball off to the back, big pickup.
To the right side and corralled by Thielen. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. Now a timeout, Atlanta. That's their first. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the 1st down. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. 19 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Vikings, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the 2nd quarter.
Good coverage there in the end zone. That is incomplete. Terrific work. They separated the man from the football, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Throwing again is McCarthy. And he will easily pick up the 1st down. They've got 1st and goal coming up. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first. They stop it here with just under 40 seconds until halftime. To throw once more, here's McCarthy. That one, taken in. Justin Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings.
When you find yourself this tight to the goal line, Mike, the offense becomes a lot more restricted in as far as how deep you can throw the ball. The field is wider than it is long, and I think the idea here is let's spread them out. Let's put all of our eligibles out there and let the quarterback get a really good picture. Where are the holes in the coverage? Where are the one-on-one matchups that I like? So let's put this ball in the quarterback's hand, let him make a good decision, and in this case, it results in a touchdown.
Time, final minute of this 1st half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Jamal Agnew now to return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here's Bijan Robinson and the Falcon offense set for their next drive. They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. Falcons go ahead and take their second timeout. Clock will stop just under 30 seconds to go in this second quarter. On second down, here's Penix. He finds Darnell Mooney for the catch. Now the Falcons will use their third final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go until halftime.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Trying to get away, but he will not. He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and now it's 4th down. Oh, and he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
They do try to run it out as they start on the ground. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. On second down, here's McCarthy. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Scott Hansen with you from the EA Studios in Orlando. This has been a heck of a game so far. Just a field goal separating these two squads. You have to imagine both sides are trying to figure out how to clean things up, put some touchdowns up in the second half. Let's find out what goes on in the third quarter. Back out to the stadium and our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thanks. No rest at the break for a couple of, I'm sure, weary defensive coordinators trying to figure out how to stop these offenses here in the second half. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Vikings offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Well, Greg, as the season starts, really the season never ends. Think back to the schedule release, the draft has become this multi-day huge event. Green Bay crushed it with all the folks around the stadium in Lambeau, and some big names will be tied to that draft forever. A couple of the rookies that you've watched that are just sticking out in your mind, interested to see how they fit in the league as this season gets going.
You know, obviously, so much attention around the quarterback position. Cam Ward goes number 1, and then obviously Shador and all the conversations around that as the draft unfolded. But I think a guy that's going to be fun to watch when you talk about fit, Mike, I think you look at Ashton Genty. He gets drafted by Vegas. He's now with the Raiders. Pete Carroll. It kind of has the feel of, is he his Marshawn Lynch? Is he the bell cow back under center, Geno Smith, play action, set up that run game, play good defense? This feels like the early path Pete Carroll took when he took over in Seattle and turned them into a Super Bowl champion. So I'm not saying Genty's Marshawn Lynch, but he certainly feels like that's the fit the Raiders were going for when they took him with their first-round pick.
Hey, let me ask you about Travis Hunter. Of course, a Heisman winner, Colorado, great play, both sides of the ball as a receiver and a corner. You know, Greg, it's hard to come in this league and play well on one side of the ball. Is it realistic to think you may see him on both offense and defense?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. And I think to start, you have to say, okay, let's hang our hat on something. And I think when you look at the league, where is it harder to find impactful players? I believe it's harder to find impactful defensive backs. I think it's a harder position. I think the league favors the offense with the rules and the play style. So if I'm Jacksonville, I'm making Travis Hunter a defensive back on day 1. and then I'm going to package my offensive plays around his skill set to take advantage of him as a wide receiver. And then as time goes on, it will eventually unfold where he'll be able to have a role on both sides of the ball more consistently. So if I was in Jacksonville, that's what I would do. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how fast and how big of a role on both sides they give Hunter early in his rookie year.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
They'll go again with Robinson. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it. It's going to be 3rd. They need 1.
Brings up 3rd down.
Another run here for Robinson. This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
A 3-yard loss.
Well, this seems pretty straightforward. 3rd and 1, just dial up a run play and run straight downhill. But this defense had other plans. They were ready and expecting that run, and they're able to take the ball carrier down for a loss.
3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Falcons add on to their lead.
17.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense headed back to take over once more. The deficit, 6 points. Touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones to begin this drive. And boy, tough to bring down there. Fighting forward for a gain of 7.
At this point, we're going to need 2 hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
I'll tell you what, if the offensive lineman had the same level of fight and effort that the quarterback did, they wouldn't be in this situation. It's a shame because that individual effort went a long way towards extending that play, and it still ended up resulting in a sack.
To the air on 3rd down is McCarthy. That's caught left side by Hawkinson. And he looks to be a bit short of the line. And that is going to bring up 4th down.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the 1st down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is, because they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Fair catch made here. The drive will start at the 23-yard line. The Falcons offense ready for this next possession. They work with a 6-point advantage as they start this drive on 1st and 10. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd
on play action. Penix. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him.
So after picking up some positive yardage on 1st down, they end up going backwards on 2nd. That sack now brings up 3rd and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. They'll throw. It's Penix. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. Bijan Robinson, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And that's going to lead to a 4th down. Fair catch will be taken here. It is right at the 40-yard line. Here comes Aaron Jones and the Viking offense as they take over once more. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. Here's Jones. And he He's able to fight through one tackle here to pick up about 3. Second down coming up.
45-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. Trying to get away, but he will not. They finally run him down. The rookie from Georgia, Jalen Walker, working his way in to record the very first sack of his NFL career. McCarthy from the gun here on 3rd down. This one just too far for the receiver. Out in front of him. That one falls incomplete. He was seeking out the veteran Adam Thielen that time. And it's going to lead to 4th down. It'll be a punt coming up for the Vikings, as he'll come on to kick for the 5th time here tonight. Fair catch taken, and they're going to start right at their own 20-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to get back at it. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Throwing is Penix. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. From the 25, here's 2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6.
From the gun, it's Penix. Left side, he's got McLeod. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
Gain of 3 brings up 3rd and 3.
Now Penix. Out wide, that's Robinson. And he'll try to get to the marker, but he's not going to get there. Out of bounds, a couple of yards short. It is 4th down. Fair catch called and taken right at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10.
The Vikings offense getting set to get back to work. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. A run. It's Jones. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line. About 15 yards to kick off the drive. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll go back to Jones on 1st down. And he was tough to bring down. Good running across midfield. A gain of 8 that time.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
They run it once more with Jones. And that'll be a gain of 2 and a 1st down.
A gain of 3 yards. And the Vikings 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40.
So, 3 quarters have come and gone. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. Set to go now on 1st and 10. On the run, Jones begins this 4th quarter. And he ran right through one tackler, fighting forward. Good gain on the ground of about 7.
Down at the 37-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup.
Again, it's Jones. And it doesn't appear that he got to that 1st down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down.
Gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd.
They'll run the sneak. And he is going to have a Vikings 1st down. At least it appears that way. Didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the gun, here's McCarthy. To get this complete, it's Thielen over the middle. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
A gain of 4.
Play action now. It's McCarthy. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
12 yards. And the Vikings first down.
On first down, here's McCarthy. Oh, the ball's out. And that was very nearly a disaster at this juncture of the game. But fortunately, a teammate able to cradle it, and they keep possession.
Well, fortunately for this quarterback, Mike, thanks to the alert play by one of his teammates, they're going to prevent this from being a turnover. It's just so hard as the quarterback. You're trying to keep your eyes downfield. You're trying to keep the plays alive. You have to feel the rush. You have to understand when that clock's going off. That ball either needs to come out, or it certainly needs to be protected.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. They need one right now. Third and long. Setting up to throw is McCarthy. That's caught by Jefferson on the right side. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the first down. So now out comes the field goal unit in this pressure spot. This to cut the deficit in half. And this one right down the middle. It's good. Big points there. They are back within 3 here in the fourth quarter.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. They'll go play action now with Penix. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
On the give, it's Robinson. And he'll get about 4 to the 29. This crowd into it now as we get to third down.
5 yards on the play.
From the gun, here is Penix. Over the middle, he gets that to McLeod. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
On the handoff, it's Robinson. Trying to find someplace to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Pitts is the man in motion. Now Penix to throw on 2nd down. Now a screen going to be set up for Robinson. This one going to be sniffed out. Blown up in the backfield. 3rd and a long way to go. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. That's complete. He's got it to London. It is a pickup of 18. And by a yard, they get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Falcons, first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on, Mike. They call it 4-minute offense, and you don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock. But the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the fourth quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that 3rd down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up first downs. If they do that, I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
Play action. It's Penix. Looking across the field, he's got London. The tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Atlanta.
On the ground, it's Robinson. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Ball on the 35. Here comes a 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
It's caught by McLeod. And they're going to take this into the red zone to the 15-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super concerned. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
On second down, Penix. Over the middle, that's his tight end, Pitts. And now the defense is going to take their first time out. Remember, they get an extra one built in with the 2-minute warning coming up momentarily. Looking to convert for the third time on this drive. They'll need another here. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Robinson. And he's going to have that Falcons first down. At least it appears that way. Got it by maybe the length of a football.
First down. First and goal, Atlanta.
Penix now off the bootleg. He's got his man, middle of the end zone. Drake, London, touchdown Atlanta. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Koo able to add the extra point. And the Falcons will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. A return now from the 4. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. Here comes Aaron Jones and the Viking offense as they take over once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, it's McCarthy. From the right side and corralled by Thielen. Time is an issue. 1 timeout, 2-minute warning to work with, but they need points. First down and 10. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
That's quickly out to Jefferson. We'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
Jefferson. It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd.
He'll drop to throw. He's got a receiver. It's Addison. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
And the Vikings first
throwing
down.
Here on 1st and 10 is McCarthy. He'll step up and run. And nice work there. Going to a slide and gain about 7.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 20.
McCarthy to the air on 2nd down. And the Vikings are going to be set up 1st and goal. Tackle made at the 9.
It's a gain of 11.
Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. That ball broken up in the end zone. It's incomplete. Wow, the coverage excellent there. It'll bring up 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. And he's close to the goal line, but didn't get in. Good job to make sure he doesn't cross the plane. And now it's 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
A 9-yard loss on the play. It's 4th and goal.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Gotta let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. The Falcons offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. And this one really all over but the shouting. One timeout left defensively, but there's no need to use it here. And this defense plays it beautifully. They knock him back to the 7. The Vikings go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in this one. On second down, here's Penix. He takes off. He will stay in bounds to keep the clock moving as he goes down on his own. So they come to the line for first down and 10.
A gain of 18 on the play. And the Falcon first down.
So it's a win for the visiting Falcons. They get the victory here, away from home, to run their early season record to 2-0. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Minneapolis.